Hey everybody, it's me, Murder Muffin, here on the Geek Experience YouTube channel, and today we're talking about John Wick 3. Now, actually, I hadn't seen any of the John Wick films until about a week ago. I don't know, just somehow it wasn't really on my radar. But then my boss told me it was about an ex-assassin that kills literally, everyone he sees because they killed his dog, and I was instantly sold, like I think absolutely everyone else was as well. So I went and watched the first two and watched this opening night. And I have to say that this movie is a lot different than the other two. It's definitely not what I was expecting. With the way the second movie ended off, with John having just broken the rule of not killing anybody in Continental, there now being a hit out on him in like an hour or so, I totally expected this movie to kind of be like a Fortnite battle royale for everybody trying to kill John, you know, just across New York. Just absolute madness for 2 hours, literally killing absolutely everybody. And it's not. And I would go as far as to say that this movie is not like the other two at all. John Wick 1, revenge story. John Wick 2, revenge story. This one definitely is a lot more of a fight the power kind of thing. There is still a lot of action in this movie, but it's a lot more plot motivated. He's not just killing anyone in his way. It's a lot of like, go to this specific place. Okay, now there are people here. Let's kill them. Now go to next specific place. Kill people there. So on. And it tries to do a lot of other things plot ways, you know, kind of show you what's going on with the characters that have been introduced already, while also introducing you to new characters like Halle Berry's character, who actually was done pretty well. In her own right, she is also a badass, just like John Wick, though they did a really good job of making her completely different character, whereas John is a super badass assassin that will kill you in any which way possible. Sasha, I think her name is, she really wasn't that memorable. She takes a lot more of a practical approach, tactically hiding behind cover, shooting people very strategically. It's very similar to the way you see soldiers fight in like soldier movies or like cops in cop shows. She does also have these like two badass dogs that she just throws at people. But she was only really involved in one or two fight scenes as well, both of which just were way too long, especially since they mostly focused on her character. And like I said, her character is a lot more strategic and tactical. Boring is another word for it. Different, but boring. And the action's really kind of front-loaded and back-loaded. There's a huge middle section where they just kind of introduce a bunch of plot points, which was kind of cool because I really liked getting to know a little bit more about this world, kind of like the rules of the assassin organization. But you know how in the second movie, they kind of just mentioned this high table, which is some kind of super assassin governing body, which sounds really badass, but then they don't talk about it at all? Yeah, they do that a lot in this movie, where they'll just introduce something and it's like, okay, that sounds cool, and then just, okay, we're not going to do anything with that. It kind of really highlighted the issue I have with a lot of assassin kind of like plot lines. John Wick is obviously an assassin, and now he's back in the assassin game. Everyone seems to think that he can't get out of it. Normally they kind of play it off as, oh, the character's addicted to killing people or is addicted to the lifestyle. They can't let it go. But in this movie, they almost try and play it as he literally can't get out, and I don't know why. As if he's like bound to serve as an assassin. It doesn't make any sense. Especially in a world where everything's kind of run on contracts. If Wick doesn't want to be an assassin anymore, why can't he just not take jobs anymore? You don't really see too much character development in a lot of the characters, but of course if you're going to see John Wick, you're not really going to see characters, you know, learn from their mistakes and, you know, become better people. You're watching it because you want to see Keanu Reeves just kill a bunch of people in absolutely crazy ways. And if that's what you're expecting from this movie, there is a bit of that. In fact, even the beginning of this movie is just so much more just over the top gross. It was one thing in the second movie when he actually kills people with a pencil, but in this movie you just see like a chick pull her toenail off, and it's like, why? Is that what people watch these movies for? I don't know. I kind of just want to see Keanu Reeves kill people with a stapler. And it's in this movie, and it's in a decent amount, but it definitely is spread fairly thin between large amounts of just exposition and learning about how this world was. It does definitely feel like they're trying to expand the possibilities for the John Wicks, maybe for possible sequels, or maybe for some spin-offs. There's a lot of characters that they definitely could do spin-off movies for, but in order to do that, they kind of had to take the lack of plot that was in the first two movies and kind of just shove it into this one, and it feels kind of awkward and forced and just shallow almost, because you have to throw a lot of these ideas in without really going really in depth to learn about these characters and learning about these places and learning about these rules. That's the big thing. You gotta follow the rules. And I have to say, over the course of these three movies, it feels like they've been building the lore all along, and, you know, there's a lot of inconsistencies or just questions that don't really get answered. And so I wouldn't say this movie was bad as much as I would say it was necessary. It does a lot to build up the world just past John, giving it room for this movie to go a million different directions. Going into John Wick 3, I basically only expected him to just kill a bunch of people in New York, but with the way that this movie has ended, I now see a million possible ways to go. And this movie does definitely leave it open to multiple sequels, which I'm actually perfectly fine with. And if you watch this movie, which I still would recommend if you're a fan of the first two films, but the way that this movie ends does definitely push at the fourth movie being a lot more like 1 and 2, of just John just whooping ass and taking names. So would I recommend John Wick 3? Yeah. Do I think it's a good movie? No, I do not. But I don't think you're going to be wanting your money back, and I think that it definitely makes this series a lot better. I don't know, there's really not much else to say about this movie. The theater I saw it in was like super loud for no reason. It was hurting my ears. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. Be sure to let me know what you guys thought about the movie in the comment section down below. I would love to hear what you guys are thinking about it. And that's all I have for you. And as always, I've been Murder Muffin here on the Geek Experience YouTube channel. You guys have been amazing, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.